Now we are going to take a look at how you approve a checklist that a student has submitted to you for review. Remember that students fill out the campus checklist on their side. Then they submit that checklist to you for review. When you approve an item, it cascades over to the rotational checklist for the hospital to view. When you decline an item, the student will have to fix it. Whenever you have a yellow bar at the top of your home page with a red notification that reads Alert, you have pending compliance items submitted by one or more students for review. Click here to continue. This means you have student checklists waiting for your review. It is important to review these checklists when you have the alert because the checklist locks for your student until you review it, and they will not be able to make edits to their campus checklist until you review the items they have submitted for approval. Just click the yellow bar, and this takes us to a queue of submitted checklists. Reading left to right, we see the student name, the checklist name, we click to open it, and the date of submission on the right side along with any comments the student left. Please read these dates so you know how long the student has been waiting. If you do see a date of submission going back several days, it is best to treat that checklist as urgent and review it right away. Now we click the checklist name to open it, and this is the review area. You will see this view very often as a coordinator. We need to approve or decline every single item on this checklist that is in the submitted value and submitted document area. The checklist stays locked for the student until we review every item. In the column to the left of where the items are listed, you will see a small box for every item the student has submitted new information in. If it is blank, the student did not submit any new data for that item. We have item names and descriptions on the left. The items have a red flag if something needs attention, meaning that it is either missing or expired. Then we see old values. The old values are live on the site and are shared with the hospital already. Information in that column was either approved by or entered by a school coordinator, and you will shortly see some data slide over to that old value column. Then we see the submitted value area. Every item in an MCE checklist needs to have a value entered, or the system will flag it. We can only review the values currently submitted, but the student will need to at some point submit a value for any item that does not already have one stored under old value. Any new submitted data that you approve will replace the old one. You can also edit a value and then approve it. Next, we see the submitted documents. We must review any item sitting here, and the system lets us know about any items missing them as well. So if there is a submitted value but a missing document, we should decline the item. Any document we approve will replace any previous document in the old value area. You can also add a document here for your student and then approve if you want to. The comments area is completely optional, and the status area only does one thing. It will show the word denied anytime you decline an item. To approve, simply checkmark the item in the box on the far left. Then click the yellow Approve button on the bottom right. The information slides from the submitted area to the old value area. Now to decline an item, check mark that item leave a note in the reviewer comments at the bottom telling the student what to fix. Then click Deny. The word denied appears next to the item on the right in the status column, but the information stays. So you could later on edit and approve the item if you would like to. If you want to edit items on this checklist, you can also do that and make things easier for your student. One scenario might be to have a checklist a student has mostly filled out, but maybe they are only missing one item and you have the information available. We can just click on the value area and type in the missing information. Then we can click Add Document and add the missing document as well for the student. We then just checkmark the item and approve it to store our entered information under old value. Make sure that all submitted items have been reviewed. Once there is nothing in the submitted area besides any item that says denied, we can then close the checklist with the Close button. So I'm going to accept now all of these items to clear out this checklist, put approvals on everything that is left here except the one that I denied. I'll leave influenza vaccine denied, and I'm now approving the date here for varicella, the date and the documents for negative background and negative drug screen, and then I'm going to accept the date for the BLS CPR item. Click Approve. Now, I can see nothing is left to work on with this checklist because the only remaining thing under Submitted Value and Document says Denied. So now I click my Close button. This takes us back to the queue. It is important to make sure the checklist that you reviewed is not still here. If the checklist is still here, then it is locked for the student because we missed reviewing something. Once we see the student's name is not in this queue, then we are finished and the checklist opens back up for the student to make further edits should they need to.